Hi, and welcome back to the Space Coast Channel's Brevard and Business Show. I am Avery Plavin, and with me is Tim Reynolds, founder and president of the Wild Manta. Welcome, Tim, to our show.
Thank you for inviting us.
Great. Would you tell me a little bit more about the Wild Manta and everything it does for the community?
Well, Wild Manta is a full-service product development company. We work from the very beginning of a product, starting with the branding, all the way through distribution and manufacturing. So somebody can come to us with an idea, a prototype, and we will work with them for the entire cycle of getting that product to market.
So if I had a product idea and I brought it to you, what would you do with that product idea?
So the first thing we believe is you start with the branding. The branding is your promise to the end customer. So we study the market, who you're going to sell it to, what the overall idea is, and that brand actually forms everything else. It forms the words you use, the colors you use, what it's supposed to look like. So now that thing, that idea that you have, becomes something that becomes real. We can actually put a form to it, put a color to it, put a market to it, imagine somebody actually using it, and when you have that, we call the product then is fulfilling the promise. And from that we can take it, actually design it where that's unique in what we do. A lot of companies will do branding, but they can't build the product for you. We can actually build the product, and then we get it into manufacturing and get it to marketing, and that continuum of from the brand to the finished product is what we excel at and is what's unique about what Wild Manta does versus other companies that may just do a piece of it.
Excellent. So Tim, what about market research and the importance of market research and what role that plays here at the Wild Manta?
Market research is absolutely fundamental to creating a product, but it's done differently now than it used to be. You used to have to get a study group together, a focus group together. They would talk about the product or they'd talk about the service. Now you can do a lot of that virtually. In fact, there's software that we use where we send an email out and it uses the person's camera on their PC or laptop, and it actually records their emotional response to an ad or to a product. So we don't just get somebody saying, I like it or don't like it. We get the same quality of content as if they were actually sitting in the room. But we don't have to do 20 people, we can do 1,000 people. So market research is still fundamental, absolutely essential to a product, but it's all mostly now done virtually.
And when this new product concept comes your way and you decide, yes, I'm moving forward, from the moment the person approached you to the moment where you're at market, what's the timeline?
You know, a lot of people don't want to hear the answer to that question, but it usually takes between 1 year to 2 years to bring a product to market. And the reason is, especially if there's intellectual property involved, you need to get the intellectual property protection done. There's prototyping to be done. There's test marketing to be done. There's molds to be made, production runs to be made, safety testing to be done. There's a lot of things to creating a product. And some people think, oh, I can get it in the market within 2 months, 3 months. Also, an item that we really try to tell people about is if you're coming up with a new product, you really have to think into the future. Because the chances are, if you have a product that satisfies a need today, the chances are there's somebody in the world that's also thinking of that today. Mm-hmm. So we encourage, because it takes 1 year to 2 years, sometimes even longer to get a product into market, think about what people are going to need in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you're better off with your competitive advantage in that market.
I don't know if you woke up one day and decided to start the Wild Manta, but could you tell me a little bit more and share with me your vision and what happened that you established this phenomenal, successful company?
Economy as a whole is changing. When the internet age, when people are buying things off the internet, most people don't go to their local store to buy things anymore. So the actual idea said, what impact can I have in the community? What impact can we have in the community to create companies that build products that are sold outside of our community? So the real goal is an economic development goal. It says we can't just start stores anymore and expect them to succeed in our communities. We have to be exporting goods. So if our community is building products and exporting it, then we're basically growing and we're thriving as a community.
Essentially, the Wild Manta and all of your endeavors are helping grow this robust Brevard economy. And when you sold your company successfully in 2009 to DRS Technologies, probably the last thing you were going to do was establish the Wild Manta, right?
That is true.
Okay. So looking ahead 6 years later, seeing that you have now put a footprint in Brevard County. Everyone knows about the wild manta. What do you see looking forward to the future?
So our goal is to create these companies, one right after the other, about 10 a year, to create these companies in the county that are owned by local residents, that are building a product, exporting it for the community. We're not looking for the person who is going to build an idea and then sell it. We want the ownership to stay local. We want it to employ local people. We want it to build a product and sell it outside of the community. That way we, what I call import dollars. We import dollars into the community. It grows the community, grows the tax base, and that's what's beneficial for us as a community. We chose to do almost exclusively commercial development versus government development because there's already a lot of government contractors in the area. So by diversifying into the commercial realm and building those companies, we kind of diversify our base so that the next downturn in the government spending or the next downturn in a particular segment of the economy won't have as big of an impact in the community.
How many jobs overall would you say from the beginning till now you have created for this economy with all of these sub-companies, these third-party companies that you're in partnership with?
Well, we've not been doing this a terribly long time. We started the main community initiative just earlier this year, but probably we are only at dozens now of jobs, but we will be at hundreds or thousands going forward.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. Is this only applicable to entrepreneurs or is it also applicable to larger companies?
Oh, it is absolutely applicable to all sizes of companies. So, for example, we work with a company out of Orlando that's a small business, but they're trying to create new products and new product categories. So they're trying to grow their business. They've been in business for 20 or 30 years, and sometimes when you've been in business that long, it's difficult to kind of get out of your mindset and get going with new products. Also, large companies, even the large defense contractors in our area, as you have downturns in defense, a lot of them naturally migrate to what we call commercialization, which is taking the technologies that they have and increasing their footprint by taking those technologies and making them commercial. One of the advantages they have is we have the highest per capita of engineers anywhere in the country, but we don't do a lot of commercial development. So we can assist in taking those technologies and getting them into commercial marketplaces.
You are paying it forward, contributing to the overall economy here in Brevard, which, as you know, is alive and well. And thanks to the Plug-in for Star Staff, I want to take a moment to discuss my company. Star Staff is headquartered here in Melbourne, Florida. We are a nationally based permanent placement and a temporary staffing firm, and we work in all areas, including IT, from the engineers that you discussed, to healthcare, to insurance, to financial. Just there's no area that we do not search on. So anyone who is listening and watching the show, if you need anyone, please call our company. We are located here, like I said, in Melbourne, and our phone number is 703-864-2448, and our website is www.starstaff.us for United States. Tim, thank you so much for being here this evening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope we're able to share all of your knowledge, insights, your skills, your abilities, and translate them out to someone who is possibly thinking about creating some wonderful design. So I appreciate you coming to the show tonight. How can people contact you when they have these wonderful ideas that you might develop for them?
We have a building located at 5151 Babcock Street in Palm Bay. That's about a mile south of Palm Bay Road on Babcock Street. They can also contact us at ideas@wildmanta.com, or they can call us at 321-676-8606. Thank you, Space Coast Channel. And we look forward to a lot of the products that we're launching out into the marketplace being showcased on the Space Coast Channel.